Lawyer Hamza Suhini is a member of NDC communication team. Na wakasa fa eye Abronye DC eye ne remand no ho. Na I have seen say so many people condemn such act. People like Martin Kwebunim and other people be kasa omuche say the way our judiciary ni adwuma under this administration no time. Now according to nsema omu bi kan say den na obi di atem keke. Na remanded that person for 2 whole weeks. Relating to Abronye DC nsema abegin ha ewo oman mu hase no. Na sa judge no eba abonti meka kire say this is not the first time or mandi obi in this type of cases. 2023, last 2 years, or say NDC ni bi di mampanyin da Akufo-Addo attempt. That same judge remanding for 2 weeks. Ebedru action kwana na so wouldn't me journalist no or remanding the same way. And Abedru Abronye so until judge ne mayeti say he is doing his job. And your party be and our government be nationality. Na Mr. Suhini ya oil lawyer, NDC communication team member, kasa. And I watch say, yeni court, and I say, yeni judgment, ni nyal bin say, Abronye, ebe kwa court na remand for 2 weeks, because we had judgment na, modiba na, only lawyer no, and a judge ni nyal bin, but, say you will blame me, why you blame the previous government, because, the judiciary no muja tu no and they have effect our Ghanaians so and they say blame me or why and blame you and pay that Akufo-Addo because a judiciary na or giant that judiciary no and put it this trouble our Ghana for any so yentie and sema or the tuga.
On the issue of the arrest of party functionaries, I think that I agree with you totally that the decision of the trial court judge, especially in the Abronye case, defies every logic and every legal principles that I have come into contact with as a young lawyer. That point must be made. That decision, when I read it last night, I was embarrassed by that decision, especially as a government spokesperson. I simply it didn't just sit well with me. I tried to look for justification behind such a decision, but I simply couldn't. But this is why I disagree with leader. Many of you in your social studies class, you know the difference when it comes to separation of powers and the different arms of government. The judiciary is on its own. The executive is on its own. The legislature is on its own. And this government promised a reset. It may be difficult for many of you to agree that we are not interfering when it comes to the functions of the judiciary. But I can tell you with all sincerity and certainty, based on where I sit, that we are doing everything within our power not to interfere when it comes to the functions of the judiciary and how they go about their judgments. And so this judgment that was released yesterday is nothing but a poor decision emanating from one of our arms of government, which is the judiciary. The very reason why the National Democratic Congress, under His Excellency President John Ibas Atamios, made a promise in opposition to reset the judiciary. And if you read the judgment fully, you see, we are having to deal with the effects of the bad political interventions of the last regime. In 8 months, we may not be able to cure all that, but we are doing our best. And this judgment is one of the effects of the last 8 years. If you read the judgment, the same judge alluded to the fact that in 2023, he remanded an NDC activist for insulting Nana Akufo-Addo as president of the Republic of Ghana. That same judge. And many of us in the NDC then condemned him for that action. It is that same judge who remanded the Woodmeat presenter. I'm sure you guys have read it. So in his mind, what he did, and he was hailed under Nanado, he can be forgiven to think that this government will also hail him. So when I read the judgment, I saw it more as self-serving agenda to force down a consistency narrative down our throats to defend. And that is not why the NDC won power. The NDC did not win power to continue the perpetuation of illegality as far as our law courts are concerned. So my dear brothers and sisters, like leader said, the judgment is bad, but when you read it or you hear them make commentary about it in the media, remind them that these are still the negative legacies of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud. That's right now.
So this is Mr. Suhimi Wati and Sema Walker. It is very simple. Yeah. And Penyumfo say utu aduboni ya ebi kawano. And I'm on him. Say utu aduboni ya ebi kawano. Judge we ya wotena case no so no. Enye ndisi fo na edi ne ko yo David. Anda mampenyi dada Akufo-Addo nyina na oye judge. So why should somebody sit somewhere and say aban na interfere in the friends and judge no case, and I say aban na interfere in the court case. Yeti kroma ena galamse protest asem sorry ye chinkrofo ena then time ana Akufo-Addo ye president no ena ye bisa na say oko interview wa baby. I remember. Ena ye bisa na say yes ya na ban chichi demonstrators tum lawyer court ni judges di o mo cases ni ade. Yes ya ban ni interfere in business. Ti response am penyin that Akufo-Addo the breast a journalist no bisa answer question. Ti me ba. Listen.
Right. Are you concerned about protest movements? We've seen a lot of protests. Some activists were arrested, put in jail. The opposition is saying you're trying to stifle dissent.
I'm not responsible for jailing people in Ghana. The courts in Ghana are independent institutions, and they have been all through this period of the Fourth Republic. People misconduct themselves and they're brought before court. It's for the court to deal with them. That's not a matter.
It has nothing to do about politics.
It has nothing to do with the executive. And their behavior is what lands them in problem with the police and with the courts. It's not the protests. How can the president, who himself, his political career was aided by leading protests, have problems with protests? I don't have problems with protests.
And in the Yambisa said, then as a Yabisana clear. And then mampenyi dada Akufo-Addo being a no can say. Or no any problem with protest. On one case, a political career was built on protest. He's not responsible for jailing people in the country. Court, judiciary, independent body. Nti so obi akodini boni ni achina judiciary ni or no or interfere in judiciary business. Ti then and the yachi Abronye na mo attribute to the government. Dear nasa. Edu boni na mutu ye no. Ebi na akamwa no ende no. Nti mo ntafre. Thank you.